Listen, Happy New Year and welcome back to Spawn Again Vegan and welcome to Veganuary. I'm a wee bit late in getting on board with Veganuary, mostly because I completely misunderstood what Veganuary is. I thought that was the thing where you didn't shave yourself for a month, but apparently was completely wrong. So it's about getting people on board, trying out veganism, giving it a bash, and what we want to show you is it is so easy. People overcomplicate veganism and what it is. So what I thought would be a good idea is to actually show you some of the meals that we cook on a daily basis. Starting off today, which is a Sunday when I'm filming this, and we're going to cook what we'd normally have for a Sunday dinner, which is a vegan steak pie. Now there's a couple of different versions of this that I do. I do one at kind of New Year that I've done there with seitan, but we're going to do a really super simple one, just so people can get on board and give this a wee try. So here it is, I'm going to show you how to make this vegan steak pie. So the ingredients for the steak pie, we're going to have this with some roast potatoes, but the steak pie is dead easy. There's not a lot of ingredients to this at all. There's mushrooms. We're going to have 500 grams of mushrooms. Tin of Jackfruit. You can get this in supermarkets, as Tesco get that from, so you can get that in most supermarkets. 2 onions, a red onion and a white onion. This is because that's what I had in the fridge. Wanted to use the red onion up. Kind of 2 medium-sized onions and some stock. We've got some Marmite we're going to put in that as well to add a kind of beefy flavour. My biggest tip with this is don't mess about and try and be too fancy with the recipe. I made my fiancée Kelly this a way back when I was experimenting with the recipe, and I put it down to her. I put some herbs and spices in it and some tomato puree and some red wine, and I put it down to her, and she's a Scotch lass that's used to having steak pie a certain way, and I put it down to her and she's like, what the fuck is this? So don't mess about with it too much. Oh, and we're going to have puff pastry, of course, for the lid. Most puff pastries you get in the supermarket, we're not going to make it. This is as easy as possible for you, so on a Sunday you can just make this and whack it in the oven and get it made. Most puff pastries in the supermarket are vegan. Just have a look at the label on it. Again, if you're new to veganism, have a look at the label on it and make sure there's no milk, egg or any animal derived products in it.
So make sure you give your jackfruit a good rinse under the tap. You feel it's quite gummy and sticky, so make sure you wash all that off.
And when you're rinsing your jackfruit out, you're going to get wee bits like this, like wee seed bits coming out. Try and get as much of them out as possible. Also, it's kind of triangle shape it comes in the tin, so the wee pointy bit at the end I'm not interested in. I'm going to get rid of that. Now if I was making a steak pie with just jackfruit, sometimes I do that and don't put mushrooms in, it'll just be jackfruit. I'd keep all of that and just to add a bit of kind of meatiness to it. But for this I'm just interested in it. And you can see wee fibrous bits, you can see it, I don't know if you can see that on the camera there, but it's wee fibrous bits, and you'll see that in a minute when we get that boiling away in the stock.
When you're cutting your mushrooms up, make sure you leave them in nice big chunks. Don't cut them too finely, so it gives your steak pie that nice meaty texture. Put your jackfruit, mushroom and onion into a pot. Sizzle that slightly with a little bit of oil, just covering the base of the pan, just to soften the veg slightly.
so I've got the mushroom, the onion and the jackfruit sizzling away in the pot there. There's 500 grams of mushroom in there because you want it quite meaty, but it's quite a lot, so there's no mushroom for anything else. Hey! No, right, okay. So the next thing you're going to do is get some vegan beef stock. Ox will do one just now. Again, we're keeping, you can get fancier ones, you can make your own stock, but this is so it's accessible for everybody. So we're going to get 3 stock cubes, but first we're going to get 1.5 litres of boiling water and fire it in a pan here. So we're going to cover the veg in the pan. There we go, 1.5 litres of boiling water. And then I've got 3 vegan stock cubes, vegan beef stock cubes, and I'm going to put them in. And as well as the beef stock, I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of this Marmite. Now, some love it, some hate it, but this adds a real kind of meaty flavour to it. Again, veganuary, there's some people out there that are just giving it a go, they are meat eaters. So you want to give them something that has that kind of meaty quality to it. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of this in.
Whilst your veg is simmering away in the pot, peel your potatoes.
Sometimes when you're peeling a potato, you get one like this, big bits in it.
Disgusting!
To get really crispy roast potatoes, take a pan and cover it with oil. Then put it in the oven. You want to heat this up for about 30 minutes so that the potatoes really sizzle when you put them onto the pan.
So finish peeling the potatoes, and what we're going to do is keep them whole, and they'll go in a cold pan of water, and then we bring it up to the boil. The reason we start it off cold is so it's an even cook throughout. It took me ages to peel the potatoes, a lot longer than normal, because I'm not peeling well. But, and we've got the stew stuff, the jackfruit, mushroom and onion. It's reduced, the liquid in there is reduced by about half now, so we're good to go. All the mushrooms are a lot smaller, they've shrunk, they've absorbed all that moisture and all that flavour, but so is the jackfruit. That's what you really want, that kind of beefy flavour to get absorbed in there. So what we're going to do now is we've got 80 grams, which I've measured out, of stock, gravy granules, sorry. So make sure again that the gravy granules are vegan. Have a wee look at the back of the packet there, and loads of them are. The beef ones, the beef gravy granules, loads of them are vegan. So I'm going to add that to the pot and give that a wee stir in now. So that is the stew done. So we're going to put that into this tin and leave it to cool a wee tiny bit just now whilst we concentrate on the tatties, the potatoes. Right, so our potatoes are done, so what you want to do is just take one out. I usually try and pick one of the biggest ones, because if one of the biggest ones is cooked where you want it to be, then you're jamming. So just jab it with a wee knife and make sure it's soft and yielding. So yeah, that's good to go. Take them over to the sink now and drain them. Once you've drained them, get them back in the pot, get the lid on and give them a good shake. So they'll be all soft around the edges. My belly's still going. So check that, and it should be kind of rough around the edges. So I'm going to get the potatoes on this pan now, and this has been heating up in the oven for about half an hour now. And just listen to that when you put the potatoes on. Hopefully the mic picked that up, that's the noise you should be looking for when you put them on. So I've preheated the oven to 200 degrees, I think you check that there. I always think you go to 200 degrees. So I've preheated it to 200 degrees and we're going to put the potatoes in just now for 15 minutes to begin with, then we'll turn them. So whilst the potatoes are in the oven, we're going to get the puff pastry onto the stew. Again, have a look in the supermarket, a lot of the puff pastries are vegan, so just have a wee look at the back, make sure there's no animal products in there, no milk, no egg, and you're jamming. So this one is a Bell's one. I got. We shout out to Bells. We're going to put this on just now. So that's as the steak pie is out of the oven. And that's what it looks like. Right, listen, it's not going to win any awards for how it looks, but it's going to taste amazing. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. The potatoes still cooking away in the oven, and then we've got some broccoli that we're just going to put in a wee saucepan just now. We have some broccoli with this as well. There we have it, vegan steak pie with roast potatoes and just a wee bit of boiled broccoli there.